The snow and ice led to a late opening for Papa Roo Cajun Cooking this morning, but it also led to a chance encounter for Art Bouvier, otherwise known as Papa.
Young guy come walking through the parking lot, cutting the corner to get down westbound on 10th Street, and he says, "Excuse me, can you tell me how far it is to 10th and Sherman?" And I looked at the ground, it's all ice. I said, 10th and Sherman? So that's about 6-7 miles away. You're not getting there anytime soon in this weather. You're probably going to need to take a bus. And he just said, "Okay, thank you, sir," and he kept going.
Not only was 10th Street icy, it doesn't have a sidewalk, which is why Papa was surprised when he ran an errand 20 minutes later and saw the same young man still walking.
I said, "Well, how come you're not on the bus?" He says, "I can't afford the bus until I get a job."
In fact, that's why the young man was walking in the first place. He had a job interview at 10th and Sherman, and the restaurant wasn't his starting point. His home was back at 42nd and Post, nearly 10 miles away.
I'm thinking to myself, here's a kid walking almost 10 miles in the ice and slush and snow for the hope of a job at minimum wage. That's like the kind of story your parents used to tell, my parents used to tell, uphill both ways in the snow.
Papa gave him a ride the rest of the way and later posted the story on Facebook, promising the young man a job in his kitchen if he needed one. Within hours, that post went viral.
More likes than I have friends. It's been shared, 1,200 times. I have no explanation for that.
Tonight, that promise became reality.
Yeah, I can come get you. I can be there in probably about 10 minutes. Is that okay?
Yeah, it's fine with me.
18-year-old Jaquil Reagan didn't have to walk to his new job.
I'm lucky I met him. I'm really lucky I met him.
His new boss took care of that.
Show you the ropes tonight if you want. We're a little busy in there.
Okay, that's fun. It's crazy. I don't even know. It's really crazy. My heart's just racing right now. I'm just too excited. Too excited to start. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
Appreciate it.
The latest tonight on that teenager whose chance encounter with an Eastside business owner changed his life. Jaquil Reagan's life has been a whirlwind these past 10 days since we reported the story of his long walk through the ice to a job interview. He's been on national news programs. He's been on a national talk show. Well, Fox 59's Kinderdall has been following this story very, very closely even since it broke. And Kent, the outpouring of support really just continues tonight.
Yeah, it certainly has, Bob. We've seen it online. The original Facebook post has been liked more than 26,000 times, but the impact of this story has gone far beyond that, and now Jaquil is ready to repay the favor.
I describe it as a work of God.
Jaquil Reagan has met a lot of people since setting off on a 10-mile walk to a job interview 10 days ago, an interview that he wouldn't even end up needing after meeting the owner of Papa Roo on his way.
I'm thinking to myself, here's a kid walking almost 10 miles in the ice and slush and snow for the hope of a job at minimum wage. That's like the kind of story your parents used to tell, my parents used to tell, uphill both ways in the snow.
Jaquil's story is also now stuff of legend. He's been immortalized in his own editorial cartoon.
I did nothing miraculous.
Done interviews on several national programs, and seen his picture pop up on stories he can't begin to translate.
People all over the globe have seen me. It's really crazy.
The story, as one of my customers put it, is redefining viral.
That's because it's generated more than just likes on Facebook. It's created a new life for Jaquil.
It really has changed quick. Like, I went from sleeping on a couch to sleeping in my own house, in my own apartment.
You see, before meeting his new landlord, Jaquil was homeless and living with friends. He also didn't have a phone.
I was trying to get a hold of you last night.
Now he's taking calls from the Chicago Bulls organization. They contacted him after seeing a certain hat on TV.
They gave me some tickets to the Bulls. I was really impressed, and I think it's awesome.
As we showed you last week, Jaquil also received a free bus pass, though he hasn't had to use it much after meeting plenty of coworkers who have offered to give him rides.
I really appreciate it. Really grateful.
Jaquil's story didn't just get him a job. In fact, they've gotten so much good publicity here at Papa Roo that they've actually had to hire additional staff to keep up with all the extra demand.
We've got 5 new permanent hires.
Some of them have spent time answering phones,
My cashiers have turned into receptionists.
fielding dozens of donation requests for Jaquil.
Each slip is an individual contact of a person with a name and a number, and they want to help financially. Each of these slips.
In fact, so many donations have come in that Jaquil decided to create his own foundation, saying half the money will go to help disadvantaged people find work. The other half will go to him, but he'll be sharing it with the most important people he's met in the past 10 days.
25% of my half is going to Papa Roo employees, because they have been working their fingers to the bone while all this has been going on, the restaurant has been a bit more busy than it has ever been. And, you know, they really deserve it, you know.
Incredible kid. Now, since this story ran, we have also received numerous requests to donate to Jaquil from around the country. They want all of that money to go to the Jaquil Reagan Foundation, as it's called. If you want to find out the details, check out this story on fox59.com.